Hi everyone, it's Bethany. I am here with our Where Do I Start? Part 2, the follow-up to setting up your first binder. And now we're going to be looking at what's next. So you followed my excellent advice. You have your binder picked out. You have your, oh my goodness, I forgot I took the inserts out of there. How funny. Okay, so you have your binder, you have your monthly inserts, you have your weekly inserts, and you have that set up. And now you're wondering where to next. Now, I know that most likely you already have some of these things I'm going to be talking about, but I'm going to try to cover everything so that nothing gets missed in case you don't, in case you really did only focus on those three things. But I'm just sort of, I'm assuming that probably likely if you bought a pack of inserts or something that more pages have come, or when you went looking for certain inserts, you found other things, blah, blah, blah. But that's probably different for every person. So again, I'm just going to try to cover everything I can think of, and I apologize for some of it that might be repeating. So we're basically going to look at three areas today in terms of where to go next. The first one is what I'm calling covering the basics. So this would be, in my opinion, sort of your first step after you've got the bare bones that you did from the other video. If you haven't seen my other video and you want to backtrack, there's actually two videos before this one. There's the prequel, and then there is the setting up your first planner, and now this one is, and I don't know, does that make it part 3, part 2? Who knows? But anyway, so I will link those videos below. You can go check them out as well. Okay, so again, assuming that you have a binder, a monthly calendar, or at least your calendar inserts. Okay, so that's what I'm assuming you have, and that's all I'm assuming you have. So from there, we're going to move over from the empty binder. That's so hilarious. You can tell I don't do a lot of prep before I start these videos, eh? Okay, so, all right. The first thing that you will probably have is some sort of information sheet, some sort of personal information. If lost, please return to, something like that. The minimum would probably be a sheet that says, your contact information in case your book is lost. If you purchase a Filofax or something else that's come with inserts, then you probably have a page already created. If not, you can seriously make a sheet that says, if lost, please call, or find them. There's tons of downloads, again, that will have the information. And it can start with, like I said, the minimum would be, if lost, please call, this person, me. And at most, some of them even have room for oh my goodness, all sorts of information, like your doctor's numbers and your blood type and I'm trying to see if there's on the back of mine, I didn't fill in. But your vehicle information, your most important telephone numbers, bank accounts, credit card. Now you'll notice they even have little asterisks, I don't even know what the plural of that is. Anyway, little stars that say you may not want to keep this information in here in case it is lost. But anyway, the information, the opportunity is there. You might want to get something like that. So that's sort of the first thing. And like I said, you probably have that already. The next thing that I recommend, if you haven't done, let's say you got a pack that came with this and it came with a whole bunch of reference materials, all that stuff that comes, is go through it if you haven't already and pick out the things you think you actually might use. So for example, I keep the map, the world map, and this mostly because my son is interested in them, and I find we do use them because he doesn't really have any concept of where things are. I find I pull out the maps to kind of show him, oh, it's Olympics time. Look how far away Russia is from Canada, that kind of stuff. Now this I don't actually keep from the area codes, but I keep it because it's got the birthday list on the back. I like to have that. And then the calendars for the next, including this year, for 6 years. That really, there was probably, excuse me, there was probably 20 sheets that I, whittled down to just those few out of that pack. So if you have one of those packs, take a peek through. There's probably stuff in there that you don't need. You might as well, set it aside. If you're kind of, if you're nervous, just set it aside, put it in with your supplies, and see if you miss it. And if not, then perfect. Okay. The next thing is so you've got those 3 sections. You probably, no, if you're only keeping those, you know, the 2 sections, your calendar and then your notes section, you may or may not need dividers, but this is where you get, as you progress, this is where dividers are going to come in. Something like this, I have made these. You can check out my channel and my video on how to make them. They are so incredibly easy to do it with a pre-existing divider that you just cut down to fit your size. Your binder may have come with them. If it did, that's great. You can also, there's other videos out there how people make them out of scrapbook paper. There's all kinds of things that you can do. You can also probably just go to the planner section and buy some that will fit your planner. And you can either keep them just plain. That's why I keep flipping over here. You could have a plain one, or you could decorate it up a little bit. This used to be at the beginning of my notes section, so I had a bit of an index there. And then these are just little Post-its, or sorry, little sticky notes that I got that the little tab part just fit perfectly on my tabs. So I use them there just to kind of decorate. And plus, because I haven't committed to what's in my tabs, it gave it something rather than just looking at a bunch of blank tabs. Okay. That is, sorry, my other, another tip I have is that you don't need to commit to what's going to be behind them. They may have come with pre-printed ones. That doesn't mean you have to keep those subjects. I've been using this setup since, we're working on month 4 now that I've been using this setup. I have changed these several times. And I don't know that I'll ever end up writing, taking these off and writing what's actually behind the tabs. Because it's really, unless you have 47 categories, it's probably not that difficult to find what you're looking for without the things. And it gives you the flexibility of moving stuff around. Okay. The other thing is, to know about these is that people will use combinations of side tabs and top tabs. Now, these are not actually divider tabs. I'm just using them to explain what they would look like because they would look the same. Let's see if I can. They would look kind of the same as this. And you can also use tabs within tabs. But my advice is start with as few as possible and then add as you find that you need them. Within my notes, and since I don't have my index anymore, within my notes, I have some of them were done with tags on the top. That makes it easy to find things. And then the ones that I didn't do that, I have added little tiny side flags just so I can quickly find things. Excuse me. Okay. The other thing in covering the basics would be your page markers. And that's actually these top tabs that I showed you are actually my page markers. I use 3 of them. And I also have a video about that if you'd like to see 1, how I made them, and 2, how I used the 3 of them. That system, then I have a video for that too. So just check out my channel. But at least you probably will want 1 that will take you to your day. And maybe 1 other. A lot of people use 2. They have 1 other special place, whether it's their calendar, whether it's a specific note section or to-do section or something, that they keep a second one in. But 1 you probably find helpful. Now, it doesn't necessarily, don't absolutely need this. You could use a paper clip to find your place. You could not use anything to find your place. You could just, flip to it. The other advantage of having something like this, often they also come as a ruler, which can be useful sometimes. I'm trying to see if I had mine right here. I don't have it. I don't seem to be able to find it. Anyway, because sometimes you might want to actually use a ruler in your thing, so then it's right there. Some of them have a pocket, like if you've gotten one with your planner. Let's see if I can show you in here. This one actually is a Franklin Covey one, and it actually has a little pocket that you could keep things in there as well. So, okay. So that is, to me, those are the basics. Your information page and your reference things, to take a peek through those and clear those out. Your dividers, something to break up your sections. And then your page markers. Okay, so moving on from there are a few extras that you could have. One is a flyleaf, which is basically just often a blank piece of some sort of plastic, whether it's lighter or a bit heavier. And often they're used to sort of protect what's behind it. They're often a little bit bigger. I've also made this myself, and I've made it a bit wider, so that when my binder is closed, it's kind of covering everything and kind of overlapping. or hanging over, I guess, a little bit on the end. I don't really have a dashboard. If you want to learn more about those, go check out some other people's setups. They have them. It's sort of that landing zone when you first open your planner. This is the information I want to see, or these are the, whatever the case may be. Pockets and pouches, depending again on how many pockets and pouches your book, your binder comes with, may determine how many pockets and pouches you use. I have one envelope at the back that I use to hold things. Now this was also from my old binder that didn't have as many pockets up here, so I may find that I don't need this as much anymore. One little pouch that I made to hold just a few stickers and sticky notes. I made this out of the little calendars you get to hold in your purse. They have a plastic over the top. I just used that plastic. Again, I have a video about that too, if you want to check that out. You might have, this one here, which I've taken out just because I was just getting too bulky, is a card. It's actually, I don't know if you can see, it's actually like the credit card holder, or the, business card holder that comes with often a planner. And I didn't really need it for that, so I just stuck, and these I've actually just stuck right on to the top. I've used a little bit of glue. I use these kind of glue pens a lot because they can be permanent or repositionable depending on how long you let it dry before you stick it down. I find that stickies often need a little bit of extra help to stay onto, especially because it's such a slippery plastic. Okay, so those are just a few little extras that you might find helpful. The last thing, I know I'm moving through this so quickly and it's still taking me 12 minutes. Okay, the last thing is time to decorate is what I'm calling it. So we've covered the basics, we've added in a few extras, and now it's time to decorate. If decorating is something that you're interested in doing, and if it is, I'm going to go with the rest of this video is assuming that it is. If it's not, then you can just, say goodbye now and see you later. Okay, now, if you were going to decorate, I hope you're still here. Didn't go by, right? You're still here? Okay, perfect. I'm going to talk about just a few things. Now, there are tons of videos out there. I don't do a ton of decorating. I don't feel like my decorating would be very exciting for video, but there are tons of people who do fantastic ones. Go check those out. Give you some inspiration. But I did think I would talk a little bit just about a few supplies. Since technically this is called What Next, I did want to talk about that. So, a few of the basic things that I use are things like, pardon, there's going to be lots of crinkling because I keep things in these plastic bags to kind of separate them. Things like this, scrapbook paper that I've cut to fit inside my book. I used to use this size when I used a week on 2 pages. I would use this in between and write my to-do list on it. These little tags here, little journal tags, you buy these at the craft supply stores. They're great for, I use these for my reminder cards. If you've seen my videos about reminder cards, I use them. I made a tag. My son has a first birthday coming up, so I made a card to track my to-dos. I put a little to-do sheet on the back and just the information on the front. I got that out of, this book. So there's some ideas, some tags, and some paper. The other thing that you'll see obviously a lot are sticky notes. They come in all shapes and sizes. You guys all know this. Often you'll notice a lot of mine tend to be on the smaller side size, because I use a smaller book. If you have a bigger book, then you might find that the full size ones are more useful. And they come from everything from just regular note to these little flags like this, which are actually see-through. You could use these, and there's even ones I think that are a little bit narrower. You can use them like to highlight sections in your schedule. There's little sticky tabs that you can get, like these ones. These are from Martha Stewart. That kind of stuff. So there's sticky notes. And then the pretty, that kind of stuff was pretty, but then you get into like your stickers. And the sky is the limit with these, basically. Scrapbooking, the, back to school section, actual stickers designed for calendars. Rate all those mom's calendars you've been getting for the last couple of years and you never use all the stickers. And yeah, all kinds of options. Now, the thing to remember, and that I had to kind of learn, is if your planner tends to be, a little bit on the thicker side in terms of the amount of stuff that you want to carry around, or just the amount of space you have, try to go with flat stickers instead of puffy ones, or like sometimes you get ones like this They're dimensional. They kind of are puffed up. I don't know if I can show you. See how it's got a bit of a puff up there. Anyway, they just added a lot of bulk, and your pages aren't going to lie as flat with things like that. So you might want to either avoid them or sort of limit where you place them. And the other thing that is super popular when it comes to decorating pages are the washi tape or masking tape. And these are crazy. I mean, even this time last year, well, at least where I am, I'm sure that we seem to be the last people to get everything, but very hard to find these, but now they are everywhere. I recommend starting with thinner ones, but again, it depends on what your layout looks like. It depends on how much room you have, what your goals are in terms of what you want your pages to look like. And I mean, even if you get the thick ones, you can always cut them a little bit to make them fit. But anyway, and start with just a few, right? See what you like. Instead of going and buying a pack, $500 all in one day, give a few different sizes a try to see what works well before you commit to buying a ton of tape. There's also, stamps, and paper clips. There's all kinds of things. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea where to buy these things. Check places like the dollar store first. Think outside the box. Go up all the aisles that might have little, the scrapbooking aisle, the craft aisle, the kids art supply aisle, the office supply aisle. Check out Walmart, Target, office supply places like those. You can often find good deals. The craft stores obviously have a ton of this stuff. There are online places like Etsy and Yozo Craft, Mochi Things, Modes for You, Studio L2E has fantastic stamps designed for planners. I will put all those links down in the information below. Tons of resources. But again, also checking videos, and they will share with you where they often get their supplies. Tons of possibilities. So, okay, sorry about that. My camera cut off because I guess I was full. I'd forgotten to delete my other video. So I was saying goodbye anyway. I hope that this has been helpful. Hope it's given you some ideas of what to do next. If you have anything you want to share, if you want to send me pictures of what you've accomplished so far after watching my videos, I would love to see them. And we're probably on, Facebook groups together. Make sure you point out in the bottom if you've posted pictures on one of those sites. Let me know about it. I'd love to see what you've come up with. And so that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.